Metaphysical essence, doubt physical presence of any worthy to dethrone king. Pitiful presence, my mannerism is evidence of G. OAT lessons, I'm free to live or die akin to Uncle Sam. Sessions 24 and 24, he's 24. I count my blessings, August 197724. Pamela spread them, doctor said push. A head in the chest, thighs and toes. 1 year after 23, my homie's eyes closed. I arose to the realization time is cold.
Welcome to Outside the Algorithm, where you'll find a universe of independent voices. I'm your host, Samuel Patrick. Today is March 30th, 2023, and we are streaming on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook at LFOD Life everywhere. I'm live from Los Angeles, California. Our guests are checking in from both coasts, but what about y'all? Where's the audience at? You can let us know in the comments. We'll be able to bring it up on screen and get a little convo going. I love to hear where folks are tuning in from, because as y'all who've known about us for a minute know, we've really been all over the map, back and forth. So I know we have folks all over the country. Sometimes we have folks all over the world. So yeah, let us know in the comments where you're from. You can also let us know. You can join the conversation. Any questions, comments for the artist, we'd be happy to hear them. We'll bring them up. We'll add them to the pot and get things stirring. Tonight, we will be meeting DJ Troy Frost, Ventage, and Yelena. We'll be bringing them on one at a time, but everyone's welcome to stick around and continue the convo, keep it flowing. You never know what's going to happen. Sometimes someone starts a thread or sparks something that keeps going throughout the whole show. This is fun for me. Troy was asking me off air a bit about it, and this started out just doing Instagram lives during 2020, and I didn't book any guests at all. It was totally random. I didn't know who was coming on, what was going to happen. I would just click accept, and then I'd meet a new person. So we're a little more controlled now, but I try to keep it pretty free flowing. Same for y'all. If you have topics you want to hear us get into, all that stuff, we are with it. And last but not least, share the live. Whether you're tuned in live or tomorrow, next week, next month, if you're liking what you're hearing, someone you know probably would like it as well. So pass it on. Everything here is totally organic. That's how it's all come about. And that's how it's going to continue to come about. So keep it flowing. Rock with us. With that being said, I'm trying to tighten up my intro. So we're going to get right into it here. We have DJ Troy Frost coming to the stage. What's happening?
How are you?
I'm great.
Word.
How are you?
I'm doing well. I can't complain. It's been a good day.
Nice. It's funny. We talked off air about how when you talk off air, you have to relive the conversation. I was like, damn, word for word, she's hitting me with it. Although I didn't know today was a good day, so I'm glad to hear that. I knew you had no complaints.
Yeah.
So for those of you who do not know DJ Troy Frost, I would recommend you just go and listen to our interview from last year on LFOD radio, or from a few years ago. We get into all the basics and stuff, but we're talking about now. My first question for you is purple produce. Can you break this down for me? Because I don't know what that is.
Yeah, purple produce. Ooh. See that? Okay. It's, what is purple produce? I just like the way it sounded. So when I used to work for a nonprofit, and we would do, it was a DEI nonprofit, so diversity, equity, and inclusion. And every summer they would have a youth program. And one summer I was the lead facilitator coordinator. And there was a team of us, other facilitators. We all did the program. And so we were the core team or whatever. And we just had a really good vibe that summer. We called each other the womb warriors, because it was all women, and we had purple shirts, and it was just a whole thing. During that summer, whenever I would see something purple, like a purple sky or purple flowers, purple onions. They're really red onions, but they look purple. But like anything purple, I would like send it to one of them and be like purple produce. And I was like, that just sounds so cool, like purple produce. And this was 2014. And I was just like, I want to have something called purple produce. I'm going to like create a thing and it's going to be called purple produce and blah, blah, blah. So now it's 2023 and it's one of my Instagram handles. And basically it's hip hop, wellness, and literacy. This is what I would like it to evolve into. I have dreams and ideas and visions and things that I want to do in the future that will have this name. But right now it's really just doing like hip hop literacy and wellness events. And like just me existing on the internet separate from DJ Troy Frost, although DJ Troy Frost falls under Purple Produce. It's also the name that like when I certified my business, that's the name I used. So yeah, I've put on a couple events last summer. It's so weird because it's like I want to go this way, but you know what I mean. This flyer from an event I did last summer called Purple Produce, a Heal Thyself Art Jam that was all about wellness and hip hop. So I had each hip hop element represented in some capacity through performances or through the vendors. And then there were Black owned, people of color owned, health related vendors. And it was just an effort to like give my folks a place to gather and build community, but then also to connect people with different services and products and people that could support them in their like health and wellness efforts. The Nubian Square Farmers Market was happening at the same time. So that was like a very cool and organic collaboration. And then more recently, I did an event with Consensual Therapy, who she's a masseuse and she has like, a whole business and many services that she offers. She was one of the vendors at my event. And then she reached out to me to collaborate on a aromatherapy / massage event. So I did a workshop where we created aromatherapy oils. And so we picked different oils based on like what resonated, what we wanted like support with. I gave a little 101 on essential oils. And then we used the oils during the guided massage that was led by Cassandra of Consensual Therapy. So that was a lot. Purple Produce is about health and wellness, hip hop, and literacy. And it's a growing thing.
As all produce does.
Hello. Hello. So yeah, that's Purple Produce.
That's fire. I saw you doing the promo for the aromatherapy thing, and I was like, damn, I want to go to that. And then hearing you explain it, I'm definitely a little... Hopefully I'm in town for the next one because that sounds so healthy.
There will be more. It's fun. You're like, I've done it 3 times. The one with the massage, that was like that was a first time thing. But I did an aromatherapy workshop with my students last year. I work at a school part-time as a library coordinator. And so for Wellness Day, we did one where we created sprays and shea butters, and we like mixed essential oils and learned about them. And then I did it at the library where, again, I think it was sprays again. So I plan to do it again, and hopefully it aligns with, you being here, but maybe we can send you, a little bottle or something if you're not.
Hey, careful. If you offer it, I will accept. So okay. I'll DM you my address. No, but hopefully I'm there. Maybe you'll come out west. We'll make it happen. But okay. I love how you always have education incorporated with whatever you have going on. I was even listening back to the mix you did on LFOD radio, and it was like you always mix the old school with the new, and you're very rooted in hip hop and in the pillars of it, and or music in general, I'd say. So I appreciate how you do that.
Thank you. I appreciate you noticing.
Hey, and yeah, I got you. And I mean, even the name, Troy. So, but I learned today you're coming up on your 10-year anniversary of DJing.
Yes.
So,
yes. Well, it's wild. I started in 2013. So this summer will make 10 years. Yeah, and I'm going to be having a celebration. It's not out in the public really yet, but keep an eye out, July 7th. So yeah,
okay.
I'm excited. I'm really trying to get myself in order in my personal life, but then also, especially with DJing, in terms of like practicing and like getting back to being consistent with the practice in addition to doing gigs in the business aspect so that, I feel like this 10 years I've created a foundation of sorts. Like I've tried different things and made mistakes and had, achievements, and now this is like a point of reflection so that
Mm,
the next 10 years the foundation is solid. I've filled in the cracks, so to speak, and I can kind of like apply what I've learned so far. Like of course there will be other challenges and mistakes, but I think that like I feel more solid in myself and in my career as a DJ so that I can kind of like, just enter a new phase.
yeah, the foundation's there. We're about to see what the first floor looks like. Where's the
Right.
kitchen gonna be? Okay, living room's over here. All right, I'm with it. I'm with it. So it's funny. You're getting ahead of my questions even. I was gonna say, you did take a little break, and it seems like you're back in force. And I was wondering, like, what has changed in your approach? Is it just that you're more solid, or has there been another shift in your energy this time around? I want to say.
Yeah, that's a great question. What has changed? um I think I've been more honest with myself about where I'm at, where I want to be, and just like who I am as a person, as a DJ. So like for instance, um I'm not really for the club scene. Like it's not my thing. Now, if we were having like a 90s hip hop, Afro beats, 80s R&B situation, I would love to do that, but like that's not really what you hear on the club scene. And yet, it feels like something I'm supposed to conquer or like supposed to do to be considered legit. And so part of I think what has changed is like being clear about what my desires are and where they're coming from. Like, do you want to do this because you actually want to do this and it aligns with you and who you are? Or do you want to do it because that's what you're seeing other people do and that's what you've been told, either directly or indirectly, that you're supposed to do as a DJ? Um,
Mm,
and that goes for like the kind of music that I play. So like you said, I like to mix the old with the new. And so sometimes when I have gigs, especially if it's like a private event or something, maybe they have a particular like sound that they're looking for. I have to be more flexible. So I've been figuring out how to like balance what I like to play and I guess what DJing does for me personally with the fact that I am providing a service. And sometimes I'm going to have to play the stuff I don't want to play. I'm gonna have to play the little yachties and the little Uzi Verts of the world, which I like little Uzi Vert's recent song. Like it's catchy. I'm not like against the new stuff, but it's just not like fun to me as like some of the older stuff and even like the creative aspect. So yeah, that's I think I don't know if that made complete sense to you, but like I guess what has changed is like I'm just being more honest about like these are the
mm,
desires I have. These are the things that I really want that like light me up and make me feel happy and inspire me. And these are some of the things that like I have to do you know, to sort of grow as a DJ and get to some of the places that I want to get to. So yeah, and the other thing that has changed is like asking for help. So I'm working with a mentor and he's been very supportive and like helping me navigate some of the business aspects and um yeah, just like not being afraid to set certain boundaries and whatever. I don't know. It's not very exciting to me, so it's nice to
Do,
have someone support me in
do you
that.
want to shout him out, or is it top
Sure.
secret?
I mean, no, it's not top secret. He goes by Ilavash, and he's like a DJ, and he does sound stuff. He's cool, and he's been very helpful.
Fire.
Yeah, with helping you like he's the one who's like, sometimes you have to play things like you need to have the current music, like at least have it. And I'm like, but I don't want to. I want to download like, old shit. I don't want to. It's like so painful, but whatever. It's what I have to do.
It's kind of the job,
Yeah,
But
job. So, and the
I
other thing I'm realizing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, in terms of you being aware and realizing though, and being honest with yourself, that is important, because as an audience member, like, we can tell when the DJ doesn't really fuck with what they're playing, or when they're not with it. And it's worse because they'll play the wrong stuff from the new artist. You know what I mean? They'll just be like, oh, insert so and so here, and they'll play the wrong stuff, or they'll play like they'll be like 2 years behind, or it'll be like you can tell when it's a chore to them and they're not really keeping up on it. So I do think it's important to find a way that you can fit in that space, and like find what you enjoy about it. Cause yeah, like you can do the cut and paste thing, and that works at like you said, maybe rooms you don't even want to be in, like club stuff or something downtown, like something where someone with a Spotify can pull up, and a laptop. But like, if you want to be in the rooms and like also be current, yeah, you got to find what you like about it. And because people can tell, if they're there, if they're paying attention, they can at least.
Yeah. So that's been, an area of growth, just like being willing to listen, like not being a music snob about things. Because there's always something creative you can do with it. So, allowing myself to have that that time with it, getting to know it in the same way that I would like the stuff that really gets me excited.
Yeah. Because people rock with you. I've seen the comments since we posted you, and they're in here. Shout out Mo in here. I don't know if you saw her cheers earlier, but
I didn't. Now I see
yeah,
it. Hi, Mo.
yeah. So I think people will follow you. So what are these? So I know you have shows coming up, because now I see you on flyers every time I open the apps. I go to the B Club podcast and they're talking. Although I think that might have just happened already. But like, what's
Go ahead.
huh? So what's going on? I know you say what?
Go ahead. Nothing.
Okay. But yeah, what do you have coming up? I know you have shows on the books. Like, where can people catch you live?
So actually tomorrow I'm going to be in New York City for a book launch. So Joshua Bennett, he's a poet. He's actually a professor at MIT now. We connected through, I also work at Frugal Bookstore part-time. Shout out to Frugal, Boston's only Black-owned bookstore. Come through.
Shout out to Frugal.
Yes. And so he is having a launch event at, I don't want to say it wrong, Le Poisson Rouge.
Okay.
I took French, at a time. But anyway, he wrote a book about the history of spoken word, and he is doing an event tomorrow about it in New York City, Bleecker Street. So I'm going to be DJing there. I'm very excited. Like, this
sounds fire. You're almost underplaying it.
I'm hyped. It's going to be a good time. And so, yeah, that's tomorrow night. And then what else? Brandy Blaze.
Shout out Brandy Blaze.
She's the truth. She's having her release party for her project Broken Rainbows on the 21st. So I'll be DJing there, which I'm super excited about that. And what else? Oh, Comics in Color. Come to Comics in Color. This is a family-friendly event. It's on April 29th. So all my like anime heads and just visual art cartoonist friends come through. Yeah, that's going to be a good time. I did it last year and it was a lot of fun. It's at the Reggie Lewis Center. So yeah, that's April 29th. And then
shout out AP Black in the building one time. You're bringing everybody out. I love this.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I have coming up in April. I don't think I'm missing anything. Everything I have a few private events, but like those are the things that, I would encourage folks to come
Nice.
through and then keep, keep in touch because there'll be things happening in the summer.
That's fire. Congrats. It's good to hear you so busy
I'm
and
thankful.
out of state.
I'm thankful. I'm truly, truly thankful.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want to hit us with the name of that book, I'd love to check it out.
I think
Is
it's
it
called spoken word. Spoken word, a cultural history. I'm pretty sure.
Spoken Word, A Cultural History? Okay.
I'll double check, but yeah.
Well, that's what it's called now. That's dope. Send me the flyer too if you think of it. I'll send it to some homies in New York, see if they'll come out. That's what's up. Troy, that's fire. Before we keep moving, I want to ask you, because you are a DJ and we have talked about some of your interests at the moment, or your interests in general. Like right now, what are you listening to? What is inspiring you? It can be old, it doesn't have to be new, but what's giving you that feeling these days?
Afrobeats. I love Afrobeats. It just makes me so happy. And yeah, I listen to a lot of Afrobeats. Um, you know, Wizkid, Omalay, Burna Boy. I really like Tiwa Savage, and yeah, I really fuck. Can I swear on this?
Yeah, go for it.
I really fuck with
Say it.
Afrobeat. It's so good, and I'm like a real fan of Fela Kuti, so just seeing how it has evolved is very cool. But yeah, I really like Afrobeats, and then I'm also listening to at Frugal, they always play The Groove, which is a station on XM radio, and they play like all this like old 80s music, funk, soul, all types of stuff. So that is like putting me on to like, I don't know, just all these random cuts that are in samples and or have been sampled. So I really like Loose Ends right now. Sherelle.
Okay.
People. Norman Connors.
Well, I
So
don't know.
if you know Trife Life by Mobb Deep, they sampled a Norman Connors record for that, and it's so beautiful. Like, it's a really beautiful song. I think it's called You're My Starlight. So yeah, like old soul funk 80s and Afro beats.
Okay. That's funny. We're in similar bags. Like I definitely, moving out west, started getting into dance music. I never really was before, because the DJs out here are fire with that. I saw Ira Star. I don't know if you know her.
Oh
She's an
yeah,
Afrobeat
she's
artist.
great. Yep.
And then I like this dude Asake, or maybe
He's
it's,
good.
yeah. And I've just been like getting in like Afrobeats house music bag, but then also I don't even, for some reason I put on the Mac, like the soundtrack, Willie Hutch, like 3 weeks ago. And his Spotify recommendations had me on like the best of Stax duets and stuff. And I've just been, oh, that's a sample. That's a sample. That's a sample. I found the Cameron, what's it called? It's not produced by Ye, but everyone thinks it is. The Down. I found that sample and went crazy. Anyway, yeah. So we need to start like a book club for albums. Does that
That would be
exist?
cute. It should.
All right, we're gonna have to talk about that offline, because yeah, there's a lot to be shared. But I said you brought everyone out. You brought out the spammers for the first time too. Shout out this guy pitching promotions on our Twitch channel. I mean, we said we'll share the comments, so we'll give them a little bit of love. And was there anything you wanted to talk about that we didn't speak on here?
Not really. I mean,
that's a no. We have our first member of our album club. Mo is in.
yes, come
So
through.
there's already 3 of us.
But listen, there it go.
And I don't know if you can see, but I can see Ventage off screen, all sorts of responding to what you've been saying. So you've been hyping her up. I know she's with it. So this is fire. Troy, thank you so much for coming on and making this happen. And it's always a pleasure to talk with you. I'm glad you're back out and about making music, making moves. Like, nothing but health and success to you this year.
Likewise.
Sincerely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Are you going to hang out while we talk to Ventage
I will
here?
hang out for a bit. I will.
Okay. So before we bring her on, though, I want to take a second, and I do want to thank everybody who came out to Louder earlier this month, March 10th. It was really a special night. It was incredible. We hit capacity. We had DJ Manipulator, Devo the Genius. We had John Glass and Abstract Minor performing. We had Snipes in there with his artwork. Shout out A-Ball holding down the bar. Shout out Kiki.D at the merch table. We had shout out my guy Bakari JB, who would not have happened without. He was taking me all over the city, picking up supplies, this, that, and the third. So thank you to everyone who came out to that. The recap is on its way. I also recorded everyone's beat sets, so we're going to be dropping those beat sets. If you missed it, you can stay tuned with that at LFOD Life on everything. It's scrolling right across the bottom of the screen as well, LFOD Life. We got a lot coming up, a lot of announcements, everything. Like you just saw here, everything's been super organic. We're going to keep it flowing that way. So tap in, introduce yourself. Oh, man, they really are all here. We got Rilla Force. Oh, my goodness. I just said you're bringing out the stars. So shout out Rilla. Rilla, I wasn't going to say anything, but you're here. Last month, Rilla said if we sent him this Common record, he'd have a sample flipped and ready for tonight. But he just texted me his address yesterday. I tried for like a month. So we're going to send him the record this weekend, and hopefully he's going to have a beat for us next month on Outside the Algorithm Live. Shout out Rilla Force. I wasn't going to say it, but you're here. Yo, much love, my guy. Y'all tap in with him as well if you're not familiar. That being said, we're bringing Ventage to the stage. Hello. Welcome.
What's good? Hey Samuel, I just want to say you are so amazing. You're so cool. I appreciate your time and what you're doing for the community and what you're doing for people. You're so awesome. So yeah. Welcome, Samuel.
Thank you. You got fans in the building as well. Michael Ayers in the building.
Oh yes.
Fire.
I've known him for years. Wow.
And Rilla says he's going to do it. So welcome. Thank you. And I appreciate that. So shout out to you and your live show. Like anyone who just saw this intro has an idea of what Ventage Live is about. I have seen you a few times, most recently at a nice little intimate So Far sound show that went from acoustic guitars to you in the middle of the audience screaming at people to follow their dreams, push-ups, chairs being thrown. I think you blew their speakers. It's a lot.
They were literally like, does this sound okay? It was low to me. I was like, no, we're gonna put it all the way up. I want people to feel like they're in a club, like low key, but that's just like how I like to experience my music. That is hilarious. You said that. From the photos you took, you captured moments that I was like, okay, she was doing something right there, where I'm just like, I'm humbled in it. I'm like, yo, relax. Like, you're okay.
It does feel like you're out of your body at times while you're doing that.
Yeah, definitely. I like to be, because my own natural capabilities only get me so far. Before we got on the live, you were like, you're problematic. I'm like, I basically am, because I like to go deep, I like to go deep, but that also could, the surface a lot of other things that might not hold any depth, or I don't know. I like seeking God's miraculousness to rock. You know what I'm saying? Not really me. Like I'm cool. I'm awesome. I can do things, but it only goes so far if I think that I am the one, the abundant one who has created this life. Like I birthed myself here. I definitely didn't. So definitely, like, you know, even just giving honor to my mom and my parents for raising me the way that they did, because it makes me more of who I am, you know? But yeah, and they showed me myself before I really could see myself on my own. So I really just appreciate, like, you know, people looking from the outside in. It's just not okay to think that you just got it all. You know what I'm saying? Just mentally, like, and spiritually, to feel like you are the one and the answer and blah, and blah. Like, there's more people on this earth than you. So we have to share the fact that and understand that, like, blessings, like if you're blessed, other people should be receiving a blessing as well. Like that's a way to see if a person is really blessed, is if they're open or willing to share, engage with you, what they call grace in their life or blessing or whatever they would call it should be shared. So whenever I have the opportunity, I'm like, well, you know, when I'm at home, I'm not really tapped into everything. I be tapping into God as much as I can, as much as I know I have the time to do so. And that experience is way better than Ventage just rapping, because I could rap all day, but it's just like when you let God come speak through you, it's a different rap. It's a different thing for me. So I just am grateful to be able to share that with people, because it is something kind of hard to find, to be inspired by, though, because a lot of people walk in idleness, you know, where they want a reaction of idleness. So you're the bomb. Like, it's honestly, I'm nothing that you're not. You know what I'm saying? I'm nothing that you're not, especially if you're calling me the bomb. That's got to be a complete reflection of what you feel on the inside, whether you're getting at it or going towards it, or yeah, it just is completely correct, you know? Because it's a real life that we live, where we eat, like, you know, we've spent time around certain people and we look left and right and we're like, I gotta go. Like she was like, I can't be in the club. I don't like the club either. It's a whole, what they're bringing to the table is like something I don't really want to eat or feel like it would feed me mentally, spiritually. Like, you know, I might meet somebody who sells bottles out the liquor store. You know what I'm saying? It's just a whole nother vibe, a whole nother thing. And I just really appreciate God and his value in this life. And I really appreciate the soul of God operating within me, because I will say, even last year, even the day before yesterday, I wasn't falling all the way into God. I wasn't. Like, when we live in a time where there's so many things that come to tear you apart and traumatize you and put you in a hole, or make you feel offended, unencouraged, discouraged, you'll start realizing how much strength you actually naturally have, but where you're weak at as well. Because when you think about the future, you also got to think about what pains and strains are happening now that you are not that you're not confronting. So when you get to your future that you believe in and love so much, or want to have, right, to cherish, that you would be able to do these interviews with people that'll say, well, I think you have a stank attitude, or what do you feel about LGBT community? And maybe you feel a little, you know, but you don't want to hurt anybody's perception. You see what I'm saying? Like, where you want to be able to have a conversation with people through perception, so that you can gain wisdom. But at the same time, it's not like there's going to be people that are going to come up to you and ask you these foolish questions, or want you to entertain certain things, and really knowing who you are and what you want to do. Like I like what she was saying. Like, I now know what I want to do. I now know what I want to pick up. I now really fully believe in the dream I had since I was a kid, that now it is sprouting. And it does take that time of having, you know, whether it's with yourself or you believe whatever you believe in. For me, I find the time when I'm with God, and it really does bring me to tears, seeing how much grace he's had to get me to where I'm at. if it was on me, I'm responsible of my own life. Like I have a child now, so I really can't play around with physical and spiritual things, like just going in and out of physical things and, you know, into the spiritual realm. It really is for you to realize you have a duty, like you're a weapon, like you're a complete weapon. And there's other people right now being killed for what they love, being hurt for what they love. There's people right now sleeping by the ocean and it's freezing. There's people sleeping under bridges. So we have a duty to break these niggas. Seriously, we have a duty to break these people so these spirits can leave that are not a part of them. And it comes from you actually activating in what God has already blessed you in, your gift, the great thing that you already do so well. And, you know, and it's hard sometimes because for me, I get distracted very easily if I look very deeply into things. So that's why you guys don't see me like hella eye contact, because it draws me away. It places it. I live in flesh. So it's not like I don't have judgment, like I don't have thoughts that go on. But if I take myself out of the spirit, if I take myself out of it, then you know what I'm saying, these things come in and I can't share what God is actually doing in my life. It can't be a testimony if I'm looking all up in here like blah, 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 you know, for me, just for me. But you know, people question me on that, but it's just I'm that sensitive with the things that I see, just like everybody else. Like some people aren't that sensitive, but you know, for me, I am. Like, it's the reason why women don't walk around naked. They might love their bodies, but they just don't. Men and women don't have the same eyes that she has to self-love herself. She's loving herself, but being offended by the love that other people don't understand. And they're underlooking, and they don't understand her. It's like, it's an intimacy that we should not be sharing in the streets. I'm gonna just be real. It's a blessed thing for a woman to be discreet, because laying your pearls out in the streets, like as if people know how to look at you, as if people know how to talk to you, it takes for you to tie more into that self-love in an intimate space with God in your room. And then when you go out, you can actually share what's going on inside of you, and it could be for those who can look at you, you know what I'm saying, while you might be wearing whatever you're wearing or growing through whatever you're growing through, that you know. And excuse me, because I will vent, like that's
yeah, the sermon just started immediately.
I'm so sorry.
We're here. Yeah, we're here. Bear witness.
We're witness, amen. Real talk.
I was gonna say your shows to me feel a bit like spiritual exercise, and it's funny that like you just immediately went in and broke it down like that, because that's the energy I get from you live, you know, in person. And we're live right now, so it's no surprise that it came back.
It's not no surprise. I feel it in the space though, you know? I could feel it. Some places you're like, you know, it might be a club type vibe. You could play all these bangers like, you know, Lil Yachty or whoever, right? It might be that type of vibe, where I do have some songs that they're still about God, but they're passive so that people can understand. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you really have to listen in order to hear. So it sounds like a radio song, but you know, it's certain music to share with people. Like, you can't just be like, I do rock music and that's going to touch the whole globe. Like, you might want to start tapping into more, unless rock is what you do absolutely phenomenally well. Because niggas like Kiss, the whole world know Kiss, you know? Slash, the whole world knows Slash. I mean, the guitar player that came out with Michael Jackson, that was the main thing he was good at. And tell me you didn't feel that when he came out. Michael was just, I'm just saying that it's just better for us to be and do exactly what we already naturally are good at. And it's just such a blessing, like, to share that. It almost is a little overwhelming for myself. Like, I feel like taking a nap, you know, kind of after, well, spiritually, like, but it's infinite. So the reason why, like, sometimes I'd be feeling a little bit offended because, I guess it's like a gamer that all they talk about is games, you know, like, or, you know, they love watching wrestling, that like, I just love diving deep mentally and spiritually for answers, that when we go deep and bring light to the deepest parts, lives change. Minds change and hearts change. And that's what I'm looking for, like, I know it's a little selfish, but it's like, I want everybody to be okay. Like, and then I can do cartwheels and I can
not
have.
selfish at all. That's the opposite.
Yeah.
Do you feel me? Like I want everybody to be okay, because it's like when you really realize that there's people hold the same emotions you have. They just show them very differently. And it's okay to feel and experience these emotions, but it's not okay to get out of these emotions and you just drop a bunch of power on the floor. You just drop your authority to be. You just drop, you know what I'm saying? We have to pick ourselves back up and patch up and say like, oh, we have to declare. That's the thing. We have to declare into ourselves. Like when people say we manifest, or, in other terms, people say postulate, or they write it out or whatever. We have to declare it and believe it. The only reason why we're not seeing what we believe or whatever is because we might not be believing it from our heart. It's one thing to be like, I know I'm gonna get this money, but is it coming from a humble place? You know what I'm saying? It's like pride. Like, you're gonna go get a Louis Vuitton bag and what? Like, we live in a place where like this just goes deep on its own. You know what I'm saying? These physical things that we bow to, it's idolatry. Like, I get it, spend your money, but is everything else okay too? Like, are you active in your blessing? Like, currency is currency for a reason. It keeps going and going, but a blessing is a blessing for a reason. It keeps going and going. And that's just what he's equipped us with, is currency is a blessing. Love is a blessing. Kindness is a blessing. Joy is a blessing. These things are supposed to keep growing and going and being fulfilled within people who are around you. You should be able to see these things. I'm not saying life will be perfect, but you'll be unbreakable and unshakable, finding your foundation and who you truly are and what you naturally are good at. To me, in God. But, to whoever else, like, being completely you is what God loves. So, it's one thing to be in your will. That's a blessing. But you take your will and you line it up with God's. That's miraculous right there. This man brought the sun, the moon, the stars. Like, your body is the most perfect thing on this planet. Like, the planets around are in the most perfect place. Like, they're going to say an explosion made perfection. I just really want people to understand the realness of this life and how infinite it truly is, unto where the adversary, the lower self, the dark side, has placed so many things around us. It doesn't even know us, because we really could just go, but we're just receiving it because it's like, we're the type of people who, we're so loving, but we'll experience something that is not filled with love. And it's an access point to draw you further back. And then you drop in your power all over the floor. Like I said again, like, because that person or people, you'll see the fruit come out. Like, you get to see it immediately. Like when I met you, such a beautiful person. We just started building instantly, just instantly. You can feel the fruit of the soul of the guy. You could feel it. It's not like, and you can feel that with any other person. It's the reason why there's people in my DMs right now that they've been hitting me up for 8 to 10 years, because God is not going to put my pearls in your hands. And I don't want your dirt in mine, because I'm going to build a castle with your dirt. Because what people are calling dirt is something that God is like, you can use that to bring yourself back up. That pain, that struggle, that hurt, that's the exact thing I put you in to grow you, because the lower self, the adversary, pick the right one, and it's you. You know how to get out. You know how to fight. You know how to. We're built in this. We're built in, and we're made. We're wonderfully and fearfully made. We're filled with power, filled with love, and it's a denial and a distraction going on in this world, until where it almost has to be purged into people in order to receive it, because of what we are witnessing every day. And wanting to claim love when you're down, can you call someone and they uplift you and encourage you? That's a sign that you're a powerful person, that you're a leader. When you look left and right and no one can uplift you, and you're going, I need some uplifting, and you have to go into yourself and go into God and uplift yourself. That is a leader. That's why he says many are called and few are chosen. So, people who are not able to dust themselves off, we're here to help dust them off. We're in every woman, there's a mother, and in every man, there's a father, whether you have kids or not. that we are here for man is for man, and we ain't for aliens. We really have authority over all animals. We train animals like man is for man. We, but God blessings, because you stirred me up, Samuel. All you have to do is look at me, and I was like, oh shit.
I didn't. It's funny because I literally just had a DM from you. You're like, I'm not like great at talking, like, and then I wasn't sure what energy you were gonna bring, because you are like pretty low key sometimes off the stage. So
Oh,
ready tonight.
Yeah, I'll mess myself up sometimes because I don't want to. I used to get popped in my mouth, so as a child,
Really? Oh damn.
Yeah, saying a little too much. Like you just think you can just say some slick something or just be goofy or whatever. And I still go through it today, but it's only for certain people, to witness my realness. And so I try
We're
to keep
honored.
it. Yeah, I appreciate it.
I need to go to one of your shows because you're just dropping gems. I can only imagine what your set is like. You're ill.
Thank you. I'm ill. Where is the thermometer?
Nah, it is.
It's so beautiful too.
Set.
Like, where are you located? You're in New York?
I'm in Roxbury.
Oh, you're going to New York.
Yeah. Are you from Boston?
No. LA.
Where are you? You're in LA. Oh, shoot.
I'm a good girl.
Oh, God. So I gotta okay. I'm gonna follow you and see, when your shows are. If it lines up that I'm in LA, I definitely want to see you because you're just like, you're a light. You're saying so many important things, and it's really an honor to witness it. And you're just getting the wheels turning. So I can only imagine.
And maybe I need to come to you too. We'll figure it out. I already know you're a phenomenal DJ. Being connected, Sam, you opening up things. So, and I trust you. This is a blessing. It's very nice to be.
Whatever I can do to connect the dots. Troy, if you're out here, even if she doesn't have a show, like we'll pull up on it.
I'm gonna come.
I'll hit Ventage and we'll make it happen. So like,
okay.
It's what I can say about her shows is the hooks are stuck in my head. I need that. Tell your mama, tell your friends, I want you, I love you. Like I need that.
I need you.
Yes.
Yeah.
When can I hear that song? When does that drop? I'm gonna press you.
Yes. So Chris Ray, my producer, amazing ear. He is actually ending off on engineering the album, mixing and mastering the EP for Black Light Love, my first Love EP. I said album, but really I'm gonna just say project because that sounds good. But my project, it should be released the second week of April. And I Love You will be on there. Just all love songs. They're all love songs, all dynamic parts of I guess my love that I have, but it's all good love, like, because after that, after I had when I was like 7 months pregnant, my love life was non-existent, and I was 7 months pregnant. This is what I'm talking about. God setting you up to become stronger. And then they be looking at these women, and what do they call these women? They're like, they're so masculine and strong. What do you expect her to do? What do you expect her to do, dude? Like, she has to take the kid outside every day. She has to figure out how she can find someone to watch the child. And this weight on its own is not easy. That's why we, try. That's why it takes two people, But again, I'm venting. But it's not like it was easy, and it definitely made me stronger in discernment, because we don't know how to judge, right? We can really hurt somebody. And discernment, honestly, is you don't have to say anything. It's you can see what's going on, but we don't acknowledge it like the first 10, 20 times until you start realizing God is using that to speak to you. He's talking to you right now. He's been saying it to you. And so, but you know, it does take a person to experience things, which that there's judgment there. We're like, well, you still with this guy? You still with him? Like, you didn't lay down with him. You didn't have a child with him. You don't know the love that I actually have for this person, the love that we share together. It's like somebody coming in between me and Samuel's relationship and being like, you should not like be around him. Like, first of all, you don't know the connection me and Sam have. You don't. You know, and so for somebody to feel like they have complete judgment over certain things, which leads to speaking into a person's life, which leads to killing a person mentally and the decisions that they've made and feeling like they're a failure, because most times judgment is not coming from a place of love. It's coming from a place of you didn't do that right. You didn't do that right. You did, you know, it's not coming from you can get it the next time. You'll be able to get through it. Stay encouraged. Just keep fighting. Like, it's not coming from that. So the judgment, it's like I had to really realize discernment is key, because God will tell you what's going on with the person, and he will use the eyes that you already have and ears. Most people will tell you what they do before you get deep with them. They be like, listen, I know I've met a person. They're like, I'm good at leaving. The first day at meeting them, it'd be little stuff like that. I'm good at leaving. But the judgment will be like, me too. But the discernment will go, oh, they're going to leave at some point. They're going to leave something. They're going to leave me. They're going to leave something, right? Because of what they said, and they declare it. You sit over here and declare it with them and say, oh, yeah, they do the same thing that they're saying. Watch it come. Because you meant it.
I'm ready for the album. I'm ready for the love life I don't know how it is, but I'm sure it's getting back on track.
Y'all pray for me. I just need me a man like SpongeBob.
Like SpongeBob?
Wait,
he's just always ready. Why these niggas ain't ready?
That's great.
Wow, I'm sure SpongeBob would be honored to hear that. Just blushing.
Like, Ventage, I'm ready.
Yo, that's
I'm gonna
crazy.
give him a promotion, okay?
Shout out to SpongeBob.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I am excited for this album. Fuck me for even making notes like to interview you with. Like, you just like go. I don't even need to say anything.
No,
the album is coming.
Question.
It's called Blacklight Love. Her hooks are fire. I like that Sit Me joint. If you're Troy, if you want to check some out, actually just go to her YouTube. The videos will do it. I think most of those are the ones. I like that. I really like.
I'm slept on though, so don't think I got 1 million followers. I don't have that.
You don't have nearly as many, and you don't have many interviews. This is a rare interview.
I'm gonna start getting 1 million followers. What'd you say?
What happens?
I said when DJ Troy taps in, and mark my words, I declare it, that everybody's gonna be listening to my music after that. When DJ Troy does it, I believe it. I believe it. Watch it happen.
I'll send you the jams. And yeah, I was gonna say you don't have many interviews. I think this is a rare interview as well. So thank you for that. Oh, Troy's gone.
It's okay. I'm almost scared, like, because of never mind. I'm being who I am, and I feel like that's a little scary sometimes, you know?
Yeah, it's terrifying. It's the easiest and hardest thing to do, I would say.
Yeah.
Be yourself.
You're good at it.
It's been a long journey, but we're here. We're here.
Yeah.
And I will say I do, do it with passion or not at all. That's your thing. So that's shining through in this. I think this is probably the best intro. This is more of an intro than I feel like I know you better now. This is more of an intro than I ever got. Like, I had to piece it together through little interactions after shows and stuff. So this is fire. I'm excited for the album. My last thing I'll say before we bring Yelena on is respect to your fits. I feel like your fits are always lit. You're always like live or whenever I see you. And then I found out you're also like a fashion designer. You do like cut and sew and you throw fashion shows and all sorts of stuff too. Can you talk a little bit about the fashion?
Yeah. I will say I had it's not on the back burner. It's still something I love to do. It's more of like a meditation for me. I like cooking and clothes, and so like I do have I make custom pants, and that's like my favorite thing to make. And I have some pants right here that I am working on. I don't know if you can really see them, but
I can.
yeah, working on those. I love just making one-for-one items. I had I'm still figuring out the name for it all, like to copyright and trademark. But I would say the fashion is what got me connected to so many people. I was doing fashion shows, every 2 fashion shows a year. I probably did it for like 3 years, and that was cool. I would have over 80 models, and they would all have 2 pieces each, and they get to keep them after, or I'd sell the items after, but for the models, they got to keep all of the merch. And so I was opened up a whole lot. I just started throwing events, showcases with bands, meeting new people, booking shows, getting out here, catching the vibe in LA. It kind of took me away from doing the fashion, throwing other events and things like that, because it takes time. Like for me, I can make a pair of pants in 30 minutes, but like it does take time. Like you want to be able to sit and not have to think about other things while you're just sitting here sewing, like, your baby. Like, so just making sure that I'm creating the right time to do it, because when I do, I want to do it full out, like how I do my music and how I tap in with my music, as well as all the other elements of spoken soul. Yeah. But the fashion, I'm still trying to move forward in and figure out who I can engage with and put clothes on. That's what I really want to do, is just give people clothes.
Do you make men's pants?
Yes. So all my pants, they really are like he, she, him, her, they. They could be for anyone.
Okay.
It's up to you
I have
to
to
pick
tap
the
in. I'm trying to get out of this the jeans trap, I'm trying to get out of the jeans. I have a few other things, but I'm just hitting these fleas and looking around. But it's not like a super serious effort, but I think I want to. So let's talk about some clothes. Also,
I love
Troy
to make
Foss says, yeah, let's talk about it. We'll get info. Yeah. Troy says her computer died, but she says you're amazing. She's glad to have met you. Power to you.
Power to you, Troy. Power to you in everything that you're doing. Wonderful. I'm happy you stayed, as long as you could.
Yeah, we literally till she was out of power. So she's recharging.
Yeah, she did that. She did that. Okay. That's a real one right there. Y'all tap in with DJ Troy.
Please. So I want to bring Yelena to the stage. Are you going to hang out, talk with her as well?
I'll be here. I'll try to be more of a listener.
Okay. Do what you feel. She might be like, her camera's been off, so I don't know. She might be all in on this. I don't know what energy she's going to bring. So I appreciate you, Ventage. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm really glad to have met you as well. Like I said, you're definitely one of my favorite performers I've come across, and like just all around people. So thank you for sharing all of this with us. And I look forward to doing more and seeing more and hearing more and all that. So, and I'll see you Saturday at What Is Your Forte? Lamert Park, 7 p.m. at the Barbara Morrison Center, right? Did I get that right? No flyer. That's off the top. Shout out Voris Forte. We'll be official media at that event. So we'll be out there. So come through. Looking forward to meeting some more West Coast artists. All right. And now, Yelena, welcome. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. How are you guys?
You're seeing it.
Yes.
I know you are like very peaceful. It's like a little yin yang action here, but Welcome.
Thank you.
So we met, funny enough, we met in LA as well.
Mhm.
Grammy weekend. I love when I meet Mass
Yeah.
artists outside of Mass. So
Mhm.
that was fire. How have you
Mhm.
been since then?
I've been good. I've just been, staying busy as always, working on a few things right now, but I've been good. I've been good. Just trying to take it easy, go with the flow, to be honest,
Hmm.
because I tend to rush myself a lot, which is why I resonated with a lot of what Ventage said, because yeah, I really rush myself all the time and
Mhm.
overthink a lot. So I'm really just trying to practice this year on how to go with the flow, how to take things, day by day. But some days are harder than others. So, just staying positive. But how have you been? How are you guys feeling?
I'm
That's
good.
good.
You said what?
I was saying that's good. Like staying positive. It's very hard to keep consistent. Like that's good. You a fighter out
Mhm.
here for real because the positivity, can feel like it's a little distant. So that's just a blessing for you to be
Yeah.
patient with yourself as well. Like definitely
Yeah.
teaching me a lesson for sure.
And you
Mhm.
don't even know what it's like to live in Massachusetts, where it is dark and cold. Like you see her face, it like actively conspires against your happiness. I think.
Mhm. Definitely winter seasons. Yeah, definitely winter seasons. But yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've been good. I'm definitely enjoying the sunshine and keeping things flowing. Congrats to you. Not everyone may know this, but we are in the presence of Boston Music Awards Latin Artist of the Year
Oh,
as
thank
well.
you.
Staying
Thank
humble
you.
with it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And shout
Thank
out
you.
Kate in the building, loving the idea of moving
Yes.
slow. It is hard to stay slow.
Yes. It is. It is very hard. And this is coming from someone who, I don't know, I've always had a hard time with it. I can't keep still, but I'm trying to practice that more this year.
Yeah.
Well,
Know that.
it's interesting though, because I know you said that like you've only been making music for about 3 years or so. So you've done a lot in a short amount of
Mhm.
time. So
Yeah.
I can see how moving fast can also work for you,
Mhm.
but not getting ahead of yourself is probably where it gets tricky.
Yeah.
Because it's a
Exactly.
slow grind.
Mhm. It is very slow, and that's why I've been learning it. That when it comes to like the goals that I have for myself as a performing artist, as a recording artist, I know to get to where I want to be, it's gonna really take some time. It may take 2 years, it may take 3 years, but once you get to the point of reaching your goal, or getting to the point where you wanted to get to, sometimes it doesn't feel that way. Sometimes, like they say, it's like an overnight success.
Mm.
So that's what I try to tell myself, at times, is like, try to enjoy the journey. Like I've had people tell me that all the time, like, Yelena, try to enjoy the journey, try to enjoy the process, try to have fun with it. But I don't know, me being me is just, I don't know, I guess I have a hard time with that. I don't know. My psyche, it's just like, it's like go, 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 go. Like my mind is racing like every single day, like from like morning to night. Um, and I'm just constantly, constantly, constantly thinking about like what I want to achieve, what I want to become in the future, who's the person I am going to become in the future, how can we get there? Like what are we not doing? Like that's literally my thoughts, like on a daily basis.
I've been really practicing celebrating wins,
Mm,
uh, no matter
that's a
how
huge one.
small. I still need
Yeah.
to work on it, but I can be the same thing because when you see the end goal, you can only I'll end up just focusing on what went wrong or or like the struggles, and I'll be
Mhm.
accomplishing mad shit, but I don't ever
Mhm.
pause and be like, yo, you did, because I did it, I'm not impressed by it almost. And then it's like,
Yeah.
yo, you did that though. Like if someone's not going to throw you a party for it, throw yourself a party. Like,
Yeah.
gratitude, like, yeah, I
Mhm.
had 10 listeners this month. Fire. Let's go. Like I'm gonna have 20 next month, you know. The wins are, but then you got to also move on immediately, you know, like you get a minute with it and then there's another game to be played.
That's like the good thing about life is like, if I feel like is like, you know, realizing you could have it all, but realizing even though you have it all inside of you already, you know, and being able to embrace all of those phases and stuff like that is just your mind fully activating to take care of you and comfort you with good stuff, like just really going back and thinking about your day and how you treated your day, treated yourself, treated people, definitely is reflective onto self. Like, okay, well, let me do this. Let me try this a little bit differently. I don't want to hurt anybody. But I find myself texting people, telling them I'm sorry, and they're like, "Why are you saying you're sorry?" Like, because of like, you know,
I have a bad habit.
You don't want to affect people like that. Like, so that's good. That's really good. That's really good. That this life is, you know, we tolerate all the phases, and even if they're good, you know, even on a, this is like, you know, for me, like with God, is like, even on a good day, like saying thank you. Like, because on a bad day, like, it's not like we're like running. Some people are not running to God. For me, I tend to shelter myself in my own space until I feel like I can be out around people or whatever. But even still then, I like inviting people over and just try not to be too hard on myself. But yeah, like, teacher right there. Humble teacher.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
I resonate with that.
Yeah.
Speaking of teaching, I noticed tomorrow night you're doing this Divine Feminine event at the Sound Lab. Can we talk about what that is and what that entails?
Yeah. So my thought process with that event, so I've always wanted to do something like that. Besides like music, being an artist, you know, being a singer, a performer, my biggest thing that I would love to do in the future is, if I'm able to, or at least do like one of my goals, I would say I would love to do a TED Talk in the future. And that kind of aligns with what I'm doing tomorrow, with talking to people, to women, but to also men. We've opened up. The event is open to anyone, so it's just not to women. At first, I was thinking maybe just keep it women, but then I was like, you know what? I feel like everyone needs to talk about this. And Ventage kind of touched upon this earlier about women kind of being in their masculine, or why women are in their masculine. And that was the biggest reason why I wanted to throw this event, because for me, as I identify as a woman, there's a whole thing about divine feminine, divine masculine. And I'm going to try to explain it the best way I can. But with divine feminine, divine masculine, it's all about like, it's kind of like the yin and the yang, you know, it's like a balance. So as a woman, technically speaking, if you identify as a woman, technically speaking, you're supposed to be tapping into your divine feminine. So when you tap into your divine feminine, it's spiritual wise, it's pretty much you're learning how to let things come to you. You're learning how to flow throughout life, right? You're like at peace. You're learning how to receive. So divine feminine, all it's about is receiving, right? It's not about taking. And it's also about creating boundaries with yourself, with other people. It's about being at ease with yourself, right? Treating yourself with respect, treating yourself when it comes to your own internal and external. When it comes to internal, is treating yourself like, you know, embracing your inner beauty and also embracing your outer beauty, because beauty is, you know, beauty is whatever you make it to be, right? But obviously society has its own beauty, but reality is beauty is what you make it to be. So being a divine feminine, you embracing your beauty, you're embracing who you are, what everything is about you is sacred. You learn how to protect your energy, right? You're learning how to also guide others as well too. So that's kind of like a little bit of how I can describe divine feminine. There's so much into it, and there's so much that goes into it. And the divine masculine is kind of like the opposite. So men who are in their divine masculine, men, they learn how to be protectors. They learn how to guide others. They learn how to not take but give, right? So like I said, divine feminine is about receiving, divine masculine is about giving, right? So helping others. So like, let's say like a man and a woman, divine masculine, divine feminine. The divine masculine is always going to give to the divine feminine, and the divine feminine is always going to receive. So in a sense, it's like the divine feminine is always feeling supported by the divine masculine is always supporting the divine feminine, right? So as they say, it takes two to tango. It takes two to tango, as they say. And divine masculine is all about guiding as well too, and all about really knowing that as a masculine man, as a divine masculine, you don't need to do things to show that you're a masculine man. Because when a man tries to feel the need to always prove himself, which is like toxic masculinity, that's called wounded masculine, right? But I honestly can talk about this for days. But the real reason why I really wanted to throw an event like this is because I really, really wanted to start having a conversation about this with women, but also with men, but mostly with women, about what it means to be a divine feminine and how can you tap into it more and not being your masculine, right? Energy, because it's all about a balance. You have to be in your divine feminine, you have to be in your divine masculine. And once you balance the two, everything in life just really is just flows the way it should. The same when men tap into divine masculine. And not to say with men who are in divine masculine don't have the divine feminine, but again, like there's a balance, right? Yeah. So once you just really tap into that divine energy, everything just flows. And that's something that I've been tapping into since 2020, I would say, is when I started kind of my spiritual journey, learning more about myself, learning about what I want for myself besides my career goals, but also my personal goals. And I just really felt, that doing this event is kind of needed. It's something that I feel like could really help people. And I'm someone that, like I said, besides my career goals when it comes to my music, one of my other goals is to really like inspire people with having these sort of conversations and trying to help people in any way that I can. So, yeah.
I feel that.
It's there.
Yeah, I hope people pull up to this and get.
Yeah, I'm
some
like, I really do too. I've been like texting all my friends, like, you better be there tomorrow and stuff like that, because like literally I was texting a friend of mine earlier who I tried to call this week and she didn't answer. And I was like, she told me, she's like, yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can get it off. And I'm like, you better be there tomorrow, because I just really feel like an event like this is needed.
Yeah, I feel like it's a word that gets thrown, or two words that get thrown around a lot too, that it would be good to have like some informed, knowledge about, I guess, instead of like, I see them as Instagram captions and it's just like, I don't know, like it's like, I don't know what. Not all feminine is divine feminine, not all masculine is but it's interesting that you mentioned the giving and receiving, because in my experience, when I've been in like situations, like not even romantic, but just like with people who are on point and both like on their side and then I'm on point on my side, it's just like all sorts of different synchronicities and things like just happen that are good, and it's not all giving or taking or receiving. It does just really flow, and you'll be like, damn, that happened, like this happened, like we got there, and it's like really fruitful for both people, I would say. Definitely for yourself, but then when you pair the two, they just kind of play off each other, and it's very healthy, I would say.
So good. And then like when you look in science, like every man has a little bit of estrogen and every woman has a little bit of testosterone, which is a complete hormone that overrules, some of our feelings, some of the ways that we express ourselves, where you have some men that they come off a little like, but they're just very in touch with that estrogen. Let's say that, like they work with themselves in a powerful way, rather than I'm gonna let this take from me so I can be more of a man. Like, you know, this takes from me having this femininity, so more of a man is going against it, rather than, you know, finding some type of alignment with it. We all need some alignment.
That's the wounded thing. That
yes.
I've been sensitive as fuck lately. I cry watching TV now. Like, I never used to do that. And like, but it was, and then I would almost go like too hard in the other direction. And it was hard to even be like, oh, you have feelings, bro. But like, if you have to like feel them, you know, and there is like two within everybody, but yeah, keep the seesaw balance.
Yeah.
Shout out Paul Willis. He's the truth. Paul, pull up tomorrow
Thank
night.
you.
Learn about the divine feminine.
Mm-hmm.
He's another educator type. So is it just who is on this panel? Is it you and some other people?
Yeah, so I partnered with the event. I partnered with Nicole from the Sound Lab. She is an amazing person. She helps out a lot with the Sound Lab. You know, when it comes to videography, she does photography as well too. She handles a lot. So I'm very thankful that I'm able to do this event with her and stuff. And then the speakers, so the first speaker is a great friend of mine. Her name is Capella. She is a artist as well, also an author, also an actor. And she's going to be speaking about motherhood and the divine feminine and how that plays out, right? And so that's going to be interesting because she's a mother herself. And then the other person is Fenna. She does a lot with branding, and she has her own company as well too. She's done great things herself too. So, and I know she's going to be talking about like entrepreneurship and stuff like that related to divine feminine energy. And, you know, myself, I will be speaking as well too. I'll just kind of be talking about like my experience, you know, as I've been learning about how to tap into your divine feminine, but also how do I utilize that in my music, or how would I like to as my career goes on, and how do I utilize that in my branding as well too, and also in my personal life. So yeah, so it's gonna be really fun. I just really hope this is just a me thing, but I'm like, I really hope I don't get emotional tomorrow, because I really feel like it's gonna be a really great experience, you know. So I'm very excited for tomorrow. A little bit nervous, but I think we are gonna work on that, because some people have asked. So I'm definitely gonna make sure that we figure that out tomorrow, just so that for those who are not able to attend, they just can watch it on live.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, or a recording or something where people can follow up. It sounds like it's going to have a lot of value, you know. And
when you said boundaries, my whole heart shook, because we just be so nice, just so feminine. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just let any and everybody come in, and it's like, but these people are operating in a stronghold of authority. I'm gonna just be, because you can, after a while, I'm able to see like how a person is willing to operate with this spirit, because it gives them access to things. It gives them access to walking into your house and kicking their shoes off, putting their feet on your bed, and opening up your fridge. Yeah, too much comfort. And it's not that comfort isn't okay. Like that, you share that with ones that you love. Like, some people start getting comfortable before you even get to know them. And you invite them into your space. And as a woman with divine feminine, with the divine feminine soul, that like, this right here is so good, because it's like in the industry, it's like there's just so many things, like going to a studio, like just so many people looking into you that want to have a bit of access or control over something, and you can feel that, like, and it's that what he was saying, like a wounded masculinity, what you were saying, wounded masculinity. Yeah, like, it's just, and it hurts you, you know, and you're left self-sabotaging yourself by letting this person or people come into your space, knowing that they undervalue you, and that, I just, yeah, this person just posted this thing today online, one of my friends, saying, what did he say? He was like, you can hate me, but you gonna respect me. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, how do you have hate
Like 2 points.
for someone, but you have to have respect too? Like, respect means that if you look up respect, it means to encourage one, to speak highly of someone. That's what respect is. So like, then we have to question our authenticity of how are we actually getting to know this person to give them respect? Some people just will do whatever they want to do, and that's where it's like, yeah, as a feminine or as a divine children of God, we're warriors suited in that to be able to protect other people, ourselves, our children, give proper provision over our children. And when you were talking, I was just thinking about kids, like, just how, like, I would love to see a gentle conversation like this with children, because like at a young age, to receive that, like, we are looking for masculinity from our father who doesn't want to be there. We're looking for, femininity from a mother who's jealous of other women getting their way.
Right.
So
yeah, I like
so
that.
good.
I like that. Yeah, I like that you said that, because actually today someone asked me who's coming tomorrow, or hoping that they'll be coming. They asked me if someone that they're related to, I forget, it's like a niece or cousin or sister, I forget. But they're like, oh, can so-and-so who's 15 years old come? And I was like, yeah, of course. I mean, I'll try to keep it PG when I talk, and I'll make sure everyone else does. But I'm like, yeah, of course. I mean, I wish at a very young age I had someone talk to me about this, And the whole thing about how you said, about, if kids really had a conversation about this at a young age, would it be so beneficial for them? Because me, growing up, I had 2 parents in the household, right, who were present. But I had one parent who, now I recognize they've been in their wounded masculine for years. I had another, my mother, she is kind of in her wounded feminine, but now she's been learning how to create boundaries with, my father. She's been learning how to have respect for herself and stuff like that, right? And so these are the things that, these are the kind of conversations that I kind of wish I had with someone at a younger age. So like, I really love the fact that you said, that it would be great to have conversations like this with kids, because like everything that you learn as a kid, is things that you're going to start putting into action as you get older.
Yeah.
So
like right now, like I've been dealing with, like, just, I'm going to just be honest. Like, as a child, as a kid, I didn't have all the right provision all the time, even though I had my parents. I'd go to daycare and it's a whole nother story. Like, people operating in their own authority and doing whatever they want to do, until where now that was an access point for you to understand, and you started learning that this is how you should treat certain situations. And then it also leaves you like wanting, like someone there that actually loves you and cares about you, not that that's a bad thing, but it's like, it almost can become idle and self-sabotaging, because you'll just take anybody to be there or whatever, and they might not be showing you the capacity of love that you deserve or know how to love you the right way. But those boundaries are so needed, like at a young age. Like, it's almost like you don't want to just tell a child about sex. You want to show them and tell them how they can protect their mind, their soul, and their body from people trying to abuse and walk in authority over children. And then we're trying to figure out why these men are wounded so badly. Like, I know I exceptionally understand, like, some men might have had their mother and father just like us, where we're seeking for this goodness, right? But then there's other men who are just now getting this understanding, even as a man, going through some of the stuff that women have gone through, you know what I'm saying, to where sexually, to where their understanding of what love and masculinity is misconstrued, and someone offending them and taking authority over their body and their mind, and whatever they dream they got is just so sad. Like, to me, I'm like, cause I'm a lion. I low key am a lion. Like I be want to smack the fuck out of people. Like for real. You think that you could just bully people? Like bully? Like really? Like that's like an old person, like, you know, slapping the heck out of a baby. Like there's no patience. Like, you know, and we're on two different scales. It's like I still don't understand why men fight women. Like you're in the WW or like a wrestling, there's some men who transform their bodies into women, and they just made a law that the men who transform their bodies into women, they cannot wrestle the women who were naturally women. Like their bodies are still different. And so thinking that you can just go up in there in a cage and just think about the depth of this. I might be going deep, but a man who wants to be a woman and goes in there and beats a woman's ass in the ring, like y'all weigh the same, but they want this authority to be in, and it's not really like, it's not, I don't think that's really the dream. I don't think that's the dream. Like for you as a mother, if you had a child, seeing your child do the complete opposite of what you had placed in them in love or tried to put in them in love. And that might also be why people are going the other way, is because what parents have instilled in them isn't coming from a place of love. And it gets received like, but I really want to see this whole thing go down tomorrow. I want to see the live. I want to see the live. Like, you don't know how many men are very close to me. Like, I love men. I love men. Love men. I love women too. But like I have this real good friendship with guys, and I want to be able to somehow share great things with the men too. And it takes to sit down. So
yeah, I love this, flipping it on kids. And like, I think anybody, it's never too late, but it's important to learn. I've been having these thoughts lately where it's like, there are a lot of people out here just operating, you know, like damaged, and just approaching people, like the way they interact with people isn't genuine or isn't authentic, or there's other stuff going on. And I was saying this, I was venting to a friend the other day. I was like, it's making it hard if you are someone who's genuine and like honest and just approaches people straight up. Like, people are reading into what you're doing and looking for this, and oh, it must be that, or it must be this and the third, and like then they're so like the genuine people, we're still finding each other, but there's a lot of people out here who are like I just wish people would stop playing with people, because like people are just getting played, like Ventage was saying, getting played with too much, and then like then they have to be extra defensive or protective or fierce.
And they're walking in this wounded, wounded energy. Yeah.
It's like, stop playing with people. That's my message.
Exactly. Yeah. Or just, I totally agree. And this is the biggest reason why I wanted to have an event like this, because a lot of it has to do with the experiences I've had so far since I've been learning about, you know, this subject, the divine feminine. So yeah,
that's fire. I'm glad you're doing it, and I was excited to see that event. Oh, there she is.
Say hello. Hello. She's learning how to talk. She said shh.
She's only one. She's huge.
I know.
Oh my goodness. Hi. We're super frozen. She broke the stream.
Oh boy.
All right. If you come back, Ventage, let me know. Pop back on. Oh, there she is. Now she's moving. Yeah. Are you back? Okay.
There you go.
I haven't touched a thing. The devil is a liar just because I brought my baby on the screen.
Yeah. She's not ready for the internet yet.
She's so cute.
Thank you. It's like you too. You're so beautiful. Your page is fire. I was just liking all your pictures. So beautiful.
Thank you. Yes. I try. Thank you.
So I'm glad you're doing that. I feel like we didn't talk too much about your music. I do want to get you a chance to talk a little bit about that. The biggest thing, I got to shout out Show and Tell Boston. I found that was the only interview I could find with you. I'm sure you've done others, but they had their SEO together. So when I Googled you an interview, I found them. And I liked how you were saying you're bringing a different energy to R&B, like more on this, like, you're not with the situationships.
No, I'm not. Those are low vibration, waste of time, waste of energy. So yeah, no. And anyone who tries to put themselves in those kind of experiences, this is just me venting, but it's just like do yourself a favor and don't do that. It's 2023. Like no.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And you mentioned, like, you know, you were talking about soul music, and I mentioned earlier I've been on my soul wave, and like one of the things I noticed listening to that is it was like, damn, like these people loved each other, and like they were really, it's like it was like, I need you, I can't breathe without you, I might die if I don't see you today. Like that was the energy. And or it was like, damn, I messed up, like you have to take me back, this, that, and the third. Whereas now the energy is more like, yeah, I don't even need you. Like,
right.
I can have you if I, yeah, or what?
Matter of fact, fuck all that shit.
Right. Or sorry if I cheated on you, but or I'm with you, but I want her.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I think it's cool that do you find that people are receptive of that? Are they like keying in on that and noticing it, or is it just a focus of yours?
I would say so. I mean, like, are you talking about specifically when it comes to my music or just in general? Like,
Your music, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I had what's it called? I think I had a conversation with someone about this a while ago from what I remember about because like majority of the songs I put out, a lot of them are about like loving someone or kind of about heartbreak or feeling strong or this and the third. But yeah, I would definitely say people are receptive to it. I think people really do want to hear you talk about like lovey-dovey stuff, but also the biggest thing I want to make a point in my songs is like strength or talking about how I'm not gonna put myself in a situation that's gonna like affect my energy. And that was I kind of said that in one of my songs that I released last year called Rumba. It's Spanish, so like if you listen to it, you probably wouldn't know what the lyrics meant, but like in that song, it just pretty much talks about how I'm like in a situation where like someone who I used to be with, who I love, was toxic, wasn't for me. And I ended things with them. And then once I ended things with them, years later, whatever, they come back and they're always coming back. And every time they come back, they always want to do this back and forth with me. They always want to try to pull me in. They always want to keep me in their pocket type of thing, And I really want to make a point when it comes to my music is like, the importance of healthy love, right? And what is love when it comes to yourself. Because self-love is very important, right? So, but yeah.
I feel that, and hablo un poco, but pero as I learn more, yeah. So I don't always know what your lyrics are. I can feel the energy behind them, but I will say, like I've been listening to a lot of reggaeton, and as I learn more Spanish, I'm like, damn, this is really misogynistic. So like, it's like that genre, like Latin music, and I don't want to speak for all Latin music, but it does seem like I'm thinking of this as I go. Maybe what you're doing is even more different in that arena. Like you said, I don't know all the lyrics, but is it like a bit of a stand? I don't know. Are the women on the same vibes as?
I would say, I mean, when I think about the Latin artists, female wise, of like what they're singing about in their songs, I feel like they're showcasing a lot of like power and strength and just kind of doing their thing. Like for instance, Shakira recently put out a song about her ex-husband cheating on her.
Okay.
And the song pretty much speaks about like what he did. It was kind of like throwing shade at him type of song, And in the song, she kind of talks about like, pretty much like I'm not gonna let the situation kind of ruin me. Or when women are in these type of situations, they're always the one that has to pay for the price type of thing, right? But I feel like what she was saying kind of touched upon like strength, you know. So I feel like empowerment in a way, right? So I feel like that's kind of what I've been kind of hearing lately in regards to some of these, Latin female artists. So yeah.
Okay, so they're on the vibes as you.
Yeah.
And I will say, yeah, you in your profile, you describe yourself as a Latin R&B soul artist, which makes sense talking to you. That can be a lot to unpack. I know that's not like a genre on its own yet.
Yeah, no, it's not.
But it's interesting because some of your stuff feels like ballads to me. Like you definitely have pipes, And I feel like I feel like I haven't fully heard them yet. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you could do wild, dramatic, film score type, ballads, or get in like a more like grooving or like Diablo type record. Do you have an album that you're working? I know you have a lot of singles, so like what's the plan? What's coming musically?
Right now I'm actually working on my first EP, so my first project. I don't want to see the date yet, but I will be releasing it in the fall. I'm very excited. This one is definitely more kind of like an R&B soul type of vibe to it. There may be a few Spanish like lyrics to it and stuff to it, just to kind of, because I always want to showcase, my Latin background and my music. But yeah, so that will be happening this year for sure. So I'm excited about that.
Oh, so I should stop learning Spanish? I won't need it?
No. Never stop learning Spanish. Never stop. No, I'm always gonna be working on releasing music that's in English and Spanish, for sure. But I'll definitely, I don't know, maybe next year I'll probably release my first like Spanish EP or album. We'll say Spanish EP.
Yeah.
So all in Spanish, because definitely after I drop my EP, I definitely want to start working on more of a Latin type of field. So like, I want to probably release my first like salsa type of song, or anything Latin kind of beat related, just to kind of still experiment and stuff and see like, see what I can do, because I feel like I can do a lot, so
that's definitely. Shout out to you having a BMA with no album out.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you. I'm super grateful for the award. Like you said, I'm very humble about it, and I feel like I don't really speak about it a lot, because I guess sometimes I'm still learning how to just really be proud of myself and not be scared to talk about it to people. And not, because sometimes I worry like, oh, if I talk about it too much, like, is it like I don't want to make myself seem a certain way, or even other people I've talked about too. I know there's like some little bit of like, I'm not gonna say controversy, but thoughts in regards to the BMAs and stuff. But I am very proud of myself for winning that category. I'm very happy that the BMAs has that category, because there needs to be a space for Latin artists like myself, and I feel like there really isn't in Massachusetts. And I think you and I probably had this conversation back when I was in LA. So yeah, so like,
yeah, we talked about a lot.
Happy.
Yeah. I left, we talked off the air, so that's a different thing. But like, I did leave our conversation with a lot of a lot to think about, and a lot of yeah, I'm glad to hear that you're like slowing down and just staying with it and, you know, focused and like moving forward. Because I definitely left that convo, you know, we spoke about a lot of, I was touched by it in different ways, you know, so I'm glad. Yeah, especially as someone who is trying to be receiving, you know, like you were saying with the like there's a lot of people throwing all sorts of energy around, so it can be a sticky situation. So I'm glad you're like armored up out here and like just spreading love and you know, doing that thing. So I'm excited to hear more music. I'm excited to catch you live sometime. Do you have any shows coming up?
Oh yeah. As of right now, so let me think on top of my head. I know for May, I'm actually going to be performing the national anthem for this baseball game. So it's called the World Baseball Classic.
Okay.
It's pretty much teams, like what do you call it? Like Latin American teams, baseball teams that are going to be playing against each other. And the first game is going to be happening in Lawrence, Mass. The second one is going to be happening in Somerville, and that will be Memorial Day weekend. So I'm very excited about that. And you know, I just and I'll definitely have other shows, but I think this year for sure, when it comes to the shows, I guess I'm not kind of slowing down on them, but you know, I'm just like I'm moving around a lot and stuff and doing so much. So I just what's it called? I just, you know, that's what I have for right now. But yeah,
really underselling the World Baseball Classic. It's probably a major game, I would say.
Yeah, it is. From what I don't watch sports like that. So, but I know it's a huge thing.
Yeah, and the national anthem's no joke either. So, congrats on that. And you know, Kate says thanks for the intro to the divine feminine and masculine.
Of course.
Is that one of your homies?
I don't know.
Shout out to Kate. I've never seen that name in here before. So welcome, Kate. I don't know who brought you here, but we're happy you're here and we're happy you got something from it. Like that's the goal always. I was saying at the beginning, I never know where these conversations were going to go. And then like Troy kind of set the level with all the foundation talk. I did not know what Ventage had in store, but like we went, you know, up a few stories right away. You know, we got the walls up, definitely framed it out. And then you came through with the living room, you know, set the table, you know, made it nice and comfy. So I appreciate that. And like you indulging my metaphors. So is there anything you did or didn't want to talk about that before we get out of here?
Like I said, the biggest thing I definitely want to make a point. So yeah, I'll be working on my first EP this year, so that'll be dropping in the fall. So people look out for that. And I definitely have other stuff that I'll be putting out music-wise besides the release. But you know, kind of want to surprise everyone. So you know, as of right now, just stay tuned and definitely, yeah, just keep. You know, stay up to date with what I have going on and stuff. So, because there's a lot to come. So
absolutely, and please, please let us know because I try to stay as tuned as possible. But you know how to reach out, so let me know so I can let people know. The whole idea here is that like it's called outside the algorithm because the idea is if you tap in with like you don't have to go on there and count on the algorithm to reach you. Like. Everyone who's been on here, I rock with, and like I'm happy to connect dots. You know, I'm glad you guys connected tonight. And if there's other guests that you've seen on the past, you see in the future that you want an introduction to or whatever, just let me know and keep us in the loop so we can keep people in the loop. I know we do a monthly newsletter. Actually, I got to do that this weekend. It'll be out on Sunday. So yeah, we're always doing our best to keep folks in the mix. So. I appreciate you.
I wanted to ask. I'm looking for new music to listen to, so I wanted to see like maybe you know like who are you listening to right now that I can add on my playlist?
Honestly, I would say right now, who am I listening to?
It
There's a
could be a
bunch of
song.
people. Yeah. I'm definitely listening to. Let me try to think. I'm definitely listening to a mix of like Alina Baraz. She's kind of, how do I describe her? She's a very soulful type of artist. She's kind of like underground. I feel like a lot of people don't know her and people should. I'm listening to certain
Could you
like
spell that?
I found
so
it.
Alina. Oh, you found it. Yeah. So
Well,
Alina Baraz is Alina. Last name Baraz. Baraz.
OMG. I've heard her before. I'm about to
Yeah.
fall out. I'm telling you, I look for
She's
her sometime and I can't find her. So thank you
yes.
for that.
Yeah, of
Yes.
course. No, of course. Yeah, she's very, very dope. And then another artist I'm listening to who she's, oh my God, I would love to work with her in the future. Her name is Yendry. So you spell it Yendry. She is a Latin artist. She is half Dominican, half Italian. And her music is dope. She has music in English. She has music in Spanish. She's so dope. And I would love to work with her in the future. And yeah, that's about it. I'm always like kind of listening to like other artists too, like other Latin artists, but there's like a full long list of that. And same with R&B. Like I really listen a lot to Giveon, to be honest.
Yeah.
Despite the things
I just tapped in with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just added
Maybe
you
you
on my
can
playlist.
you can join our. You guys want to join Troy's and my album club?
Yeah.
I
I would love
to.
All right,
Yeah,
we're gonna have to do this.
Giveon. Ooh, someone said Giveon.
Is that how you spell
Yeah.
it? Right? I got it right.
Yeah, Giveon. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
love it.
All right, we're
Yeah.
gonna start a
that's
club.
Yeah.
I'm definitely new to Twitch, so I didn't understand. That was okay. Never mind. I'm understanding. We talk about it later. This is so cool. I'm gonna get out of here.
Okay.
My baby's
So
back
are
there
we.
playing. I
Yeah,
appreciate
play
you
with
guys.
her.
Utmost
Give her
respect and encouragement to all of you guys. Seriously, grace and love and peace and mercy and joy in your life. And I
thank
hope
you.
to see you guys the next time I see you. We're in a whole nother better mode, a whole nother better mindset. And yeah, just let's talk to you guys soon. You guys are amazing. My
onward
baby
and upward.
opening
Be
the door.
well. Give her one of these for me. Little
I know,
pound.
right?
I
So
will.
nice
I
to meet
will.
All right.
Bye bye.
Peace,
Bye
peace.
bye.
Oh, bye.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
And thank you. I appreciate you. Same to you. Thank you for rocking with us. I'm glad it's been cool how we linked up. It was all just like, again, super organic. And then,
Yeah. Thanks, Alcide. Yeah.
to have it full circle. Yeah. Shout out DJ Alcide. And then to have it full circle, to have you on tonight and have it line up with everything that people are talking about. So, yeah, hit me whenever, wherever. And I appreciate you being involved, and have fun tomorrow night. I hope it's a great time, and I'll keep an eye out for more.
Right. I'll definitely let you know how it goes. And again, thank you so much for letting me be a part of this. I'm very grateful. And you have my full support. So
all right.
Anything that you need, always here.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And likewise, you're always welcome. So thank you. I'll catch you next time.
Yep. See you then.
And thank you to everyone at home tuned in. I appreciate y'all rocking with us tonight. We slimmed it down to 3 guests, and I think I like it because I always say I'm going to talk to them for like 15 minutes, but then we get into it and we just keep going. If you enjoyed what you saw, please do me a favor and share it with your friends. This will be up on YouTube and Facebook indefinitely. It's on Twitch for about 7 days, I believe. It's all at LFOD Life. If you're not familiar with us and you came through one of these artists, you can learn more about what we do at LFOD.life. That is the website. We got a lot going on, in-depth interviews, music, and more. We do this the final Thursday of every month, so we'll be back at the end of April, but you can watch all our past episodes. Once again, LFOD.life. If you're on YouTube, Twitch or one of those, feel free to subscribe. You'll get the notifications, all that good stuff. Once again, thank you to Yelena, DJ Troy Frost, and Ventage. Shout out the whole LFOD fam. And last but certainly not least, all our members who make this possible. We could not do it without y'all. We are a member-produced platform. My name is Samuel Patrick. I appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight. Until next time, peace.